So at the opening keynote for GTC the other day, we saw this huge range of applications that Omniverse can help and enable. And I'm just kind of curious how the AEC and kind of infrastructure came to be a part of the vision for Omniverse.
Great question. And yes, Omniverse does go into a lot of areas. It is built for collaboration and simulation. And we went into open beta last December, and we've had about 17,000 individual downloads since then. And we've been working with about 400 companies throughout various vertical markets for the past year. And we really saw a lot of interest coming from the AEC space. And the reasons that they were giving us is that they really need accurate visualization and simulation. They've been doing things to simulate their projects, but they've been using tools that weren't specifically designed for it. So at times they'll use like game engines and things like that, which produce beautiful work. But when they're having to be true to reality simulation, whether it's sun studies or weather studies and things like that. And so what they saw with Omniverse is an opportunity to be able to put their work in an environment that they can work with others around the world, but they can also rely on accurate simulation. So whether they're studying how the sun will reflect off of very mirrored buildings in a downtown city, or whether they're interactively working with designers who are fixing and changing things internally to the structure, they can do so without the compromise of having to bake the render. They get to actually work interactively. And that was a big boon for them. So we saw them really kind of push us to go further into that space and work with them. And we have been. It's been great.
As 3D development and visualization becomes kind of more prevalent across a lot of different verticals, some of the most annoying parts of that process, the lack of integration, inconsistent file formats, have become increasingly clear the more people try to do that. So how does Omniverse kind of attempt to solve those issues or reduce their impacts?
Yeah, excellent point, because it is from the ground up designed for compatibility across these applications. And the thing that makes it happen is USD. Originally designed by Pixar and developed by Pixar, USD, or Universal Scene Description, is, you can think of it as a catch-all for all of the elements in a 3D environment, not just the model format, but all of the lighting and shadows and all the things that kind of comprise it. And it's an open format. And by standardizing on that, not only in the M&E space, we've seen other companies across AEC and manufacturing and stuff gravitate towards this because it helps unify the 3D format. So you can think of it as the HTML of 3D. Now, once you have that, everybody's talking the same kind of context of what they're doing. And that enabled us to build Omniverse on that platform and know that anything that plugs into it will be able to work with anything else that's plugged into it. So it becomes a great unifier for the big challenges that we've had for many, many years around 3D. And that is a common way of viewing and working in a environment.
Can you tell us a little bit more on the simulation side, how Omniverse can be used for things like infrastructure design or smart cities, or what can people get out of that simulation capability?
Lots. So we can simulate so many things, from physics, where you can simulate fire, smoke, and all of those kinds of things, or true to reality simulations. How does weathering take its toll on something that's built? How will people move about in an environment? Things like that. It's a full simulation environment that allows you to modify and build on it depending on what it is you want to do. We simulate for autonomous driving all the way to robots in a factory. So there's all sorts of degrees. And if you think of it as the platform, that the platform, you can do with it as you wish. You can use the tools and technologies that are there, or you can build on it like our friends at Bentley are doing. They're building applications on the platform, which then allow them to take advantage of the things that are at the core, whether it's simulations and rendering and things like that.
And so speaking of that integration, a great transition there is, what are you most excited to see come out of this integration with Bentley?
It's been great. First of all, we have a very common vision of where this stuff is going in digital twins and things like that. And I'm amazed, we're all kind of geeks and all this stuff. I'm just amazed at the work that gets done with their tools and the complexity and the size. And when we look at it and then we see it in the Omniverse platform, we're all just like kids, we're excited about it. We see that we see the world in the same way. We want to achieve this digital twin mentality where you can have a replica in the digital world of what's happening in the physical world and be able to monitor it and everything else. Because really when the building or the structure is complete, it's actually just starting another part of its life where It has to be monitored and maintained and all of that. And so from the first, early days of getting together and start talking, we were like, we see it the same way. So it's rare when you start a partnership off in such a unified manner, and it's been a blast.
And I want to kind of switch over to Lori too for a minute here. How do you think that integrating that iTwin platform into Omniverse, is going to enhance the creation of those digital twins that Richard was talking about?
Yeah, we're real excited about it as well. So Omniverse allows for infrastructure digital twins to be visualized with photorealistic lighting and environmental effects. What the visualizations that we've seen are so true to life. It allows for that to happen on multiple devices, including web browsers and workstations, tablets, virtual reality, augmented reality, headsets, from really anywhere in the world. So the possibilities that it opens up are super exciting. In addition, I'll kind of pile on to what Richard was saying with from a development perspective. Not any one organization is going to be able to provide all of the applications that are going to be needed for infrastructure or for any work processes in that matter. And so developers can utilize the NVIDIA Omniverse in conjunction with the Bentley iTwin platform to develop custom simulations and infrastructure digital twins. So, we think that that's exciting as well. So, if you'll indulge me, let me describe a little bit about what we're seeing from our most advanced iTwin users, and then I can describe how we think Omniverse could complement that. So, we're seeing enthusiastic interest in new immersive inspections that leverage our iTwin platform technology. So for the 5G rollout, we've seen the most advanced tower owners look at millimeter accurate digital twin solutions combined with artificial intelligence and dual sensor drone technology for tower planning and management. It's really a game changer for the telecom market. Telecom owner can have all their tower data available, engineering grade, and it avoids them having to send out technicians to do hazardous tower climbs and that sort of thing. We've also seen in civil infrastructure, transportation agencies seeing immediate value in virtual immersive inspections on bridges using digital twins. They can use data from drones, and that way they don't have to send people out to do risky on-site inspections. And so, how could Omniverse augment all these capabilities? So to give you a couple of examples, the RTX ray tracing from Omniverse could be used to simulate the effects of light in various atmospheric conditions to prove both aesthetics and function of infrastructure, or it could be allowed to allow users to virtually explore massive industrial plants and offshore structures as if they're walking through infrastructure in real time. So for wayfinding and safety route optimization and that sort of thing. So we see a lot of possibilities in this work that we're doing.
How are you seeing that these new capabilities within Omniverse might affect these AEC workflows that are already in place?
Yep. So really enhancements to them. So for example, in strategy and planning and design workflows, the introduction of photorealistic visualization with that atmospheric simulation, we think is really going to improve stakeholder engagement, right? So stakeholders are often challenged with seeing what their work will be. With this photorealistic visualization, that stakeholder engagement should just exponentially increase. We're also exploring a lot of other simulation capabilities. Richard mentioned some, I mentioned some about lighting and that sort of thing. So stay tuned.
Yeah. I know that a lot of people are very excited about what's going to come out of this. So there's a lot of possibilities out there in general. I want to talk a little bit too about, the digital twin as being a living thing. How is this partnership going to help some of that real world data also get into those visualizations?
No, that's a great question. So, Bentley iTwin uses real-time and historical data to represent the past, present, and the future and predicted futures, right? To simulate that. So users with iTwin can visualize and track changes, including changes in real-world conditions from IoT devices, sensors and drones, and that sort of thing. And really what distinguishes a digital twin from any other digital model is its connection to the physical asset. Right, so changes to the physical asset are reflected in the digital twin, and with the integration of Omniverse, users will be able to leverage, the AI-enhanced photorealistic visualizations on all of that engineering data that's housed in Bentley iTwin to just advance their work in that area.
And this is kind of a structural question, but in the announcement, it was described that Bentley is going to develop applications using the Omniverse platform. Can you kind of elaborate on that? Like, will Bentley's applications work within Omniverse? Are there newly creative apps that are coming? How does that work?
Maybe I can start with just the foundation of what is Omniverse, so you can see the different types, and then turn it over to Lori to kind of. So, because it's a platform, there's what we have is one of our 5 modules that make up the platform is called Kit. And Kit is a toolkit. It can be used to extend the platform, customize it, create different workflows out of it, but you can also build applications on top of it. We have a number of applications that we've built, some of which have gone into early open beta starting at GTC, like Audio to Face, which uses AI to do animation of characters just by your voice, or Machinima, which is a storytelling tool and stuff. But there's plenty of other things that can be built on it. So you have these different ways of building on the platform, and that's what Bentley is using and to start building a suite of tools.
Great. Yeah. So we've extended the iTwin platform to integrate with Omniverse using Kit.
Okay.
And that integration provides a graphics pipeline to the capabilities that are available in Omniverse. And we're currently developing applications for photorealistic visualization. But as I said, it's early days, so stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah.
It's fun exploring. The more we learn about their tools and things that are going on, the more they learn about our platform. It's a true partnership in the sense that we are collaborating and exploring ideas and like, oh, well, we've got this technology, just tap into it here. And so that's kind of what they're doing on the visualization part. We have a unique renderer called RTX Renderer, which is a real-time photorealistic multi-GPU renderer. And it's just part of the platform. So you get that if you're on the platform and things like that. So it is definitely a collaboration.
I'll just tag on to what Richard was just saying there. GPU computing is really transforming the world of engineering construction. And it really promises to unleash so many potentials from AI to simulation, advanced analytics. And that's really the next frontier in infrastructure digital twins.
And that's what I think makes it so exciting is 2 companies, the sum greater than its parts.